This is Brett Waltemath of Star Watch Media at the 2012 Dallas International Film Festival for the 25th anniversary screening of RoboCop. My good friend is here, but he's tired today.
Your buddy's here.
It's great to see you guys again. It's great to see you both again. I never got a chance to ask you, it's been 25 years now. Can you believe, has the time flown by? Can you believe it's been 25 years since the original premiere?
You know, I wouldn't think it was 25 years, except that I see him and he's 8 months, and I see how fast 8 months went by. So yes, it puts it in perspective, and I can feel the 25 years having gone. I, in my own mind, am a bronze god, the same I was 25 years ago, but, you know, so, you know.
People say, why don't you do another one? But you don't realize how long, I mean,
yeah, people come up to me and say, when is the next one coming out? And I think, you know, I know they're going to make another one, but they think, you know, hey man, that was 25 years ago, you know. I'm on other stuff right now. So.
And speaking of other stuff, you mentioned that you just directed one of the concluding episodes of House this season. You have 3 episodes of Sons of Anarchy coming up that you'll be directing. Where do you kind of see at this point in your career, do you see yourself transitioning more towards directing, or will acting always be a part of your career?
You know, it's a question that actually J.J. Abrams asked me in the parking lot of his building. You know, you should act more, but the acting roles I'm just very discerning about. You know, the role on Dexter, role on 24, I got to contribute to. They were long arcs, get to develop them. I did a one-off for JJ on Fringe, but that was a particular thing that really resonated with my family. This is a family story. But I'm not really interested in acting per se unless it's remarkable. But directing television is a thrill. And I think now that I like telling the story more than performing in it. There's much more of a satisfaction to it. I'm about to, next week I'll wrap Star Trek and go direct one of the first episodes of a new series for A&E called Longmire, starring Robert Taylor. Robert Taylor is a Matrix, phenomenal actor. And that's going to be for A&E, and it's like 9 novels. And then I'll come back and do 3 episodes of Sons. And directing that episode of House was really one of the most beautiful things I've ever participated in. Hugh Laurie and that cast, just Robert Sean Leonard and Peter Jacobson and all of them, gosh, one of the most satisfying, thrilling things I've done ever.
I'll ask you 2 quick questions. Dealing with your directorial debut with House, and now your upcoming episodes that you'll be directing with Sons of Anarchy, do you feel added pressure when you're when you're coming at the helm of award-winning television shows like House on a film set that you've never been a part of? Do you put pressure on yourself in those situations?
Yeah. Because directing a television show and making it excellent, you got 9 days of prep and 9 days of shooting. With cable, you got 7 days of prep and 7 days of shooting. So I directed 2 episodes of Sons of Anarchy last year, and thank goodness I had great friends, Kurt Sutter and Ron Perlman, is a friend for 30 years, on my side, and an extraordinary human being, Paris Barclay, who's one of the great television directors ever. But at the same time, you're walking onto a cast. I mean, directing Sons of Anarchy is not for the faint of heart. Even the women have testosterone. That is about guns and violence and motorcycles and essentially territorial rights and greed, if you will. And the personal stories evolve in that. So whereas you walk on a set of House, huge pressure because that's award-winning. And you have to come up to hit a mark. You'd think not with an episode like Longmire, which is right out of the chute, except it's the first season. So that barrier is set by the expectations to meet the pilot, which is brilliant. So no matter how you go at television, if you're fortunate enough to direct great shows like Sons of Anarchy or House or Longmire or Justified or any of those shows that have like a track record to them, you have to come up to their barrier. You know, people watch them. It's not like doing In All Deference to ABC and Desperate Housewives. You know, that's another milieu. This milieu of men, essentially these are men-driven shows. You've got to hit the mark because I know me as a man on a set, I got a lot of ideas. And you got to get those ideas, you got to synthesize those ideas from those actors that fast, plus hit the floor with a great game plan. And there's no time for fooling around. And you hope that you put in the meat in the meat grinder, and it's got to be excellent every day. You can't have one day that's like, well, we'll come back tomorrow. Because in television, you can't come back tomorrow.
Just one last question. Just the transition from acting to directing, was that a very fluid transition for you, or did you struggle with the movement to directing?
You know, I was given the opportunity by Tom Fontana and Barry Levinson in Homicide, and I won an award, Nancy Susan Reynolds Award, civil rights there, about a gay murder, gay bashing. Back in the days when gay bashing was not hitting the headlines. That was like in 90, I don't know when that was, in 96 or 5 or something like that. And I really thank Fontana and Barry Levinson for kicking it off, but I just took to it right away. I mean, the people that really got me jump-started were Showtime. I directed a Tom McGuane short that got nominated for an Oscar, so Showtime is really my, my home turf. But yeah, a lot of actors don't take to it. But the actors that do make better directors because they know the other side of the camera. They know the temerity and the discipline it takes to act, and subsequently they're not standing apart trying to choreograph a bunch of people hoping that they fall into their particular shot. They're listening to them. And that's my forte. As Paris Barkley says so well, he says, you're a schmacter. He calls it schmacting. And you schmacked with the best of them, and subsequently all those other schmackers listen to you because you're one of them. And they do. So there you go.
Thank you for the time, Mr. Waller. It's wonderful to see you both again. Thank you.